The past wasn't stupid. It was patient, sharp-eyed, and brutally efficient. Long before labs, drones, or wildlife cameras, medieval hunters figured out ways to read landscapes, predict animal behavior, and harvest food with near-scientific precision. Many of those techniques were later banned, forgotten, or labeled primitive. Today, ecologists and archaeologists are quietly admitting something uncomfortable. These methods weren't reckless. They were smart, sometimes smarter than what replaced them. Welcome back to Ancient Roots Uncovered, where old knowledge gets its respect back. Mass drive hunts were done just once a year. Entire communities would, come together in these massive coordinated hunts, pushing animals toward enclosures or even cliffs. These were eventually banned due to what people saw as excess. But actually, evidence shows they happened rarely and replaced constant small-scale hunting. Scientists now recognize that fewer, larger harvests cause less disruption than, continuous pressure. One intense event, then a long recovery time. The population rebounds stronger. Medieval scheduling, oddly enough, beat modern over-exploitation. Water-based entrapment was also a thing. Hunters often used rivers, frozen lakes, or muddy wetlands to slow game. Animals would exhaust themselves naturally and, importantly, without injury. Modern wildlife researchers note that exhaustion-based capture reduces adrenaline spikes compared to pursuit hunting. Lower stress means better meat quality and, honestly, less ecological shock. Medieval hunters didn't just know where animals lived, they knew how animals failed. Camouflage through stillness. Medieval hunters didn't always hide behind trees. Sometimes they simply became part of the landscape. Mud-covered clothing, controlled breathing, and absolute stillness allowed hunters to let animals approach them. Neuroscience now confirms that prey animals detect motion faster than shape. Stillness defeats instinct. This wasn't magic, it was sensory science, centuries early. Shared kill distribution systems were common. Certain hunting methods were banned because they relied on communal ownership of the kill, which, undermined elite control. But these systems prevented waste. Every part of the animal had a destination before the hunt even began. Modern sustainability models, interestingly enough, praise this exact approach. Zero surplus killing, zero rot. Medieval hunters weren't just taking lives, they were closing resource loops. So, why were these techniques really banned? Most bans weren't about cruelty or danger, they were about power. Kings wanted exclusive hunting rights. Churches wanted control. New weapons made old skills inconvenient. What was lost wasn't just tradition, it was accumulated environmental intelligence. Scientists today are reverse engineering these methods because, they worked, quietly, reliably, for centuries. The lesson modern society keeps relearning: advanced doesn't always mean better. Sometimes it just means louder and more wasteful. Medieval hunters operated inside natural systems instead of fighting them. That's why their techniques lasted so long. That's why scientists are paying attention now. If you want more stories where ancient knowledge flips modern assumptions upside down, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Ancient Roots Uncovered. Share this with someone who thinks the past was dumb, and stay curious. History still has teeth.